protest here. You can see the doors there are boarded up because of the previous actions where stuff got destroyed. There's videos of that out there if you look up the graduate protest. So I don't see any protesters here. It's supposed to start at 8. I'm gonna go walk around the block and see if I can find anything. You can see that the police added security cameras here because of what went down. It's a Chick-fil-A next to the protest. I'm walking to see if I can find where it is. This hotel takes up a large space down here. Walking to the backside. There's supposed to be a protest here at 8, but I haven't seen anybody yet. The front doors are boarded up, and they have security that there's one door that you can still get in, but the security's watching that. Sounds like they knew that there was going to be a protest here. So we're downtown in Minneapolis, or downtown Dinkytown, which is the university part of Minneapolis. You can see they have more cameras set up. If you look here, this boarded up door is also because of the protests that went on. Here they tried getting in the back way by breaking stuff. And currently what's going on is the national legacy news media has put out information saying that ICE is withdrawing from Minnesota, at least a surge. So Democrat politicians are calling that a win. There's supposed to be a protest here at 8 p.m. We'll see if it actually happens or not, because of what went down with the legacy media. I know a lot of people that are Democrats that I know have been saying that they won, basically, so there's no more need for protests. But there's a hardcore group that says that this isn't enough, that ICE is still down here, and the protests need to continue. There have been blockades in Minneapolis that continue still. Neighborhood blockades where they control the flow of traffic. See, we're next to the Sweet Green, next to the Graduate. So I just walked all the way around the building and there wasn't anybody protesting. Let's go take a look at that front door again. But it looks actually pretty quiet down here, so unless the group is staging somewhere else, these protests are probably going to be winding down in Minnesota. So if you look back to about a minute and a half ago, I walked around the back side and that door was boarded up because of the stuff being broken. And this one here is broken as well and boarded up. Let's take take a look here what it says. We respect all parties' rights to express their points of view in the lawful and non-disruptive manners. And we are simultaneously committed to protecting our employees and guests' safety and security. All entry-exit doors will remain locked. All guests must enter through and exit through the west entrance, located closest to the front desk. So, right there is the doors that were broken down, the rotunda doors. At the Graduate in Minneapolis. This is in Dinkytown, which is the university side. And there's supposed to be a protest here for 8 p.m. But I haven't seen these protesters anywhere yet. So maybe this one got called off, or who knows. I know the Democrats are claiming victory over the withdrawal of what's happened with everything with ICE. This is the Graduate by Hilton. So I'll hang out here a few more minutes to see what ends up happening. But sometimes it's, a mass thing. When there's 5 to 10 people around, more will show up. But a lot of people don't want to show up if they're going to be the only ones. You can see they have these cameras that they set up due to the damage that happened to the hotel doors, and on the back side there's also damage as well and boarded up. Next to the Chick-fil-A. I even got here a little bit late, so I'm surprised, Maybe this one got called off. I know that there was messages that people would probably be arrested if they came here, that's a chance that would happen. Because that is what happened last time when people were breaking in to the building. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining me. If you're just starting, we're at the Graduate, Minneapolis. This is in Dinkytown, the college area of downtown, right by the light rail here. So maybe the wind got taken out of the sails of a lot of these protesters since the drawdown has been announced. I know the Democrat politicians are proclaiming it a win. But I've been hearing from the more leftist protesters that they shouldn't believe the media and that ICE isn't actually being taken out. Sure, the surge numbers are going down, but the actual on-the-ground ICE is still going to be here and operating. And they now have agreements to operate and work with local and state police. There's not a voter ID law yet in Minnesota. So you still don't need an ID to vote here. I don't see how they could control states' voting, rules and laws as a federal side. I'm pretty sure that's separate, so be interesting to see how that plays out, if that's actually true, that they're trying to push through a national voter ID law. Well, I'm sure the Senate has the votes. They are controlled by the Republicans, but I thought they need 60% of the votes to get stuff through, so there's going to need some Democrats to go over. I know Fetterman has said he's going to. Yeah, right. I don't know where these protesters are. I know there's stuff scheduled here today. There seems to be somewhat of a traffic jam going on behind me here. Here at the Chick-fil-A. This is one of the busier Chick-fil-A's for people picking up Uber Eats and DoorDash. So it's always insane, the parking here. It's just, there's not enough parking for this location. And one of the interesting things, since we have some time, I'm going to show you about this Chick-fil-A, is they have a little side door that you can pick up to go here. Let's see. See, they got this little side door where you can pick up your food and hit the button and whatnot. So an interesting little thing for people to walk up to and get their food here at Chick-fil-A. We got somebody with their hazards on in a no parking zone. Where's the police at? Wonder if they're protesting parking spots. They said, we're protesting the fire lane here outside the Graduate. So for the people just tuning in, I'm going to walk us over to see the damage that happened at the previous protest. And that's why for the protest that was scheduled tonight, I saw the flyer that they put out, and it said, be prepared to be arrested, basically. Because last time there was significant damage, and it could get spicy, basically, pretty fast. Well, and that's the thing. You have the right to peaceful assembly, not to destroy stuff. I agree with that. If you go back, I was at the Whipple building when there was mass arrest here in Minnesota. Almost 100 people got arrested, and I think about 50 of those, 50 to 60 actually got charged by the different law enforcement agencies. So here we are where this got destroyed. So let's get a farther back view here. The main entrance was broken with rocks and ice and stuff like that. They broke through. And then also on the back side, there's an entrance where stuff got broken as well. Let's see what's going on. Hey.
Can't be out properly doing that. You can
What?
stand over there and do it.
Okay.
Is that where you were standing at before?
So where's the
You can do it
property
from there.
line exactly?
Wherever
So I
you were
know.
standing earlier.
Where you were standing right back over there by those two little pillars?
Yep.
Right there.
Okay.
You're fine there.
Has there been anybody else that tried to show up that you had to talk to today?
Nope.
No, okay.
You're the only one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So sounds like they're ready to go. They probably got notified somehow that there's going to be a protest today. And I'm not trying to protest anywhere. The snow has been melting. It's been warming up here in Minnesota. It got up to 45 degrees today. It's supposed to get up to 50 tomorrow. So you can see there's just a little bit of the snow left that melts into ice clumps. But it's pretty much done, and we're going to be hitting spring here soon. I'm sure we'll get another winter storm that will drop stuff, but... Well, I'm not protesting anything, so... So they're saying back over here is where the pedestrian side is here at 6:15, the Graduate. And it looked like the protest, they said there's nobody else that showed up to protest yet. So the drawdown really does seem like it's making a difference as far as the energy for these protests in Minnesota. They basically got what they wanted. They got the ICE out, but from what I've been hearing, they want trials for the ICE officers, for the, hardcore protesters. Oh yeah, talking about that TP USA halftime show. I got footage, well not footage, I took a picture, a side-by-side of Hillary Clinton and Gabby Barrett both wearing the pantsuits, and it's just pretty funny that, Hillary started the fashion and Gabby Barrett's the one following it up at a concert for basically conservatives. I watched the Bad Bunny one a little bit, but it, I don't speak Spanish. I didn't understand it. It was more the visuals than anything. But yeah, it really doesn't seem like there's going to be any protesters here today. I think they're worried about getting arrested for sure, because as we saw at the Whipple building, they're willing to arrest people and do mass arrests as needed. See, the last time they were here, they broke down the doors, and that's because there's suspected ICE officers or Border Patrol or other federal agents that were spending their nights here. Well, I think as far as learning another language, we're rapidly approaching a universal translator as an option, just like Star Trek had. So, it's probably good to know that other languages, but it's not going to be as important as it was for traveling and whatnot. You're going to be able to interact more wherever you go. Well, I mean, plenty of people learn foreign languages. They had 3 at my high school that they taught. Spanish, French, and Chinese were the ones that they taught. But yeah, the security's ready to go. So we got multiple security standing outside of the door. They're ready in case there is actually the protest. I wonder if they just, put out a bunch of locations as flyers to try and get people thinking that they might be one way, but they're going another. Because it really is almost like warfare, kind of like how these people operate for the protests. It's secretive. They have what's called marshals that are in charge of a protest, and they're to watch out for agitators and that kind of thing. And there's been blockades here in Minnesota as well, at Minneapolis. So here we can see the light rail passing. For people who aren't familiar with Minnesota, there's a light rail system that goes through here. It was Jesse Ventura who actually helped push through this light rail. And Jesse Ventura won as a third party, as the Reform Party, which is now defunct. But he was one of the first third parties to win in a very long time. So the conservatives do not like the fact that the light rail went through, and I'd say the liberals are happy that it went through. So there's been contention whether it actually covers the cost of operation or not, and I don't believe it does. I could be wrong on that one. Hey Spencer, you're at the hotel. If you want to come down and invite me in, that'd be dope. And I could get through the security. Because they just asked me to go stand on the side here as it's private property unless I have a reason to be at the hotel. So that's funny that you're here at the Graduate right now, surfing YouTube and came across this. There's supposed to be a protest here scheduled for 8 p.m. Central Time, and I haven't seen any protesters. I walked all around the building. I went to the back side, and that's boarded up as well. And you can see it's boarded up there, and they have security ready to go in case protesters show up to cause more damage. And it's at what point do you say protester versus rioter, you know? And that's something I was talking about at the Whipple protest, is there was people that were causing damage to vehicles and whatnot. So there's a lot going on. Minnesota here is a Democrat-run state for the most part, but I believe the Senate and the House here in Minnesota is actually controlled by Republicans, but the executive branch is Democrat-led, and it's Tim Walz who's the governor. And there was actually a protest 6 days ago outside the governor's mansion over his response to ICE. They thought he should have been doing a more hardcore resistance against the ICE surgency that happened here in Minnesota. And they were upset that he was working with Trump and Homan. I know the protesters I've talked to, they want trials for ICE officers, and they want an investigation at the very least into what happened with the two killings with Goodman and Preddy. So, you know, I'm a Second Amendment guy myself. I don't see any problem with taking a gun to a protest as long as you don't brandish it. And I didn't see him brandish it in that video. So what I think the problem is they have the same word for loose gun versus a gun being drawn. And if they were to solve future incidents like that, they would come up with a different word that they're trained to use. So I just heard some type of pop. I don't know what that was. The hotel name is The Graduate, or Graduate, Minneapolis by Hilton. So it reminds me of that movie, The Graduate, where he ends up hooking up with the mom of the person he's dating. If you haven't seen that movie, I highly suggest watching it. It's a classic, that's for sure. Well, I don't know. Did they have body cam footage from these police officers or not? Or, I mean, the ICE officers that day? I haven't seen any body cam footage yet. I wonder if they have it or not. So, we're not stalking anything. What we are doing is hanging out because there's supposed to be a noise protest outside this hotel. The name of the movie is The Graduate. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I absolutely acknowledge Preddy was going overboard with attacking vehicles and whatnot. So he was engaging in civil disobedience for sure, at the minimum. Destruction of property, I saw that video for sure. And the thing is, like, when I'm at these protests, you know, I gotta walk a thin line in a lot of ways of when the protesters are around, you know, because I want to film what's going on and give you guys raw footage of what happens. And not really many other people are doing that. If you see the other live streamers like Mercado, he's definitely biased one way. And if he sees stuff that's going to make his side look bad, he's going to cut off the camera or edit it. Where I try to give you the raw footage, no matter who looks good or bad. I'm trying to give you the firsthand eyewitness testimony that I'm doing, you know. I try to make the camera my eyes, so I really appreciate you guys stopping by, even though it seems to be a nothing burger tonight. Beyond just getting some footage of the damage that happened the other day. So maybe this weekend there'll be bigger protests. I know Friday night there's probably something scheduled, and I think Saturday is going to be pretty big. So I'd ask that you subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and stick around because I'm going to be the guy on the ground giving you firsthand what's going on. In a hopefully unbiased manner. And I also try to keep my chat a free speech zone, so you can share your opinion, whatever it is, as long as you're respectful. You know? I don't care what side you're on or what. You can speak your mind, stand up for what you believe in. Just follow the YouTube terms of service, you know? But yeah, it's chill here. Seems like the security went back inside to warm up. So nothing going on here at the Graduate. I'm going to see if there's another noise protest elsewhere tonight. I might go back live. If not, I'm going to be going live tomorrow night and definitely Saturday. It's supposed to be much warmer, so I expect a lot of people to be out. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not just a protest against ICE, but almost a victory celebration. Because people are claiming they won, you know, especially in the Democrat sphere. They're saying this is a win. And I've seen news media put out that it's a win. You can see they added these cameras. Oh, and there's another one over there because of the damage that went down. So, nothing going on here, guys. Thank you for stopping in. Give me that subscribe and stick around in the next time. And hopefully we'll get some actual action.